Hello everyone. No matter how hard people try to conquer nature, it always has a way to strike back with hurricanes, floods and landslides. When nature gets angry, it can be downright terrifying and destructive. Today's compilation will prove that. Let's get it on. In Manaus, Brazil, a powerful flood swept away a whole house and smashed it against a bridge it came across, crushing it like a hydraulic press. This guy didn't see just how serious the threat was. But these two are even luckier. These chunks of earth are bigger than any car. It's like something out of a disaster movie. If you dream of a charming house by the river, don't forget how powerful water can be. This home in Minnesota had been standing for decades, but when the dam broke, the ground beneath it was washed away, moving the previously immovable property.
That's crazy how much stuff is just built up right there. Oh my.
This landslide looks like a small waterfall, but don't be quick to think that's all it can do. Soon, this mountain's appearance will change forever. A whole chunk of the mountain forest will soon be lying at its base. Few things can create as much chaos in a city as a major storm. No storm drain can keep up with that kind of force. Take a look at the flooding in Hong Kong. Car owners left in underground parking are in for a tough time. Watching glaciers break apart is an awe-inspiring sight, but it can be dangerous if you're too close. During a tour of Alaska's glaciers, a 60-meter piece broke off and plunged into the water, sending a massive wave of icy debris crashing down on some unlucky tourists.
Danger, danger, danger! Holy crap! Whoa!
Australia isn't just home to a bunch of unpleasant critters like giant spiders and snakes. Sometimes the weather shows you who's boss here. Here are scenes from Italy, where, during a flood, nature takes on the role of a tow truck. The water tosses the cars around as if they were Hot Wheels toys and not real vehicles weighing more than a ton. This mountain stream has swelled after a heavy rain. A few years back, a similar situation led to a disaster here, so they built this protective barrier. It's the perfect chance to test its durability.
Arriva tutto. Va sull'autostrada.
The famous Indian River, the Ganges, has waves that rival those of seas and oceans. Believe it or not, they even host surfing events here. Of course, not everyone dares to take on these waves. Just look at the sheer power of this water. And the noise? It's like the roar of the ocean. Listen closely. This bridge in India is really important for the local community, but nature didn't care. Heavy rainfall caused soil erosion, the river overflowed, and the rushing waters swept the bridge away. At first glance, you wouldn't think there's anything special about this video. What do you think that sound is? No, those aren't fireworks in the background. That's a brutal hailstorm. Look at how people are running for cover, unable to withstand nature's fury. Looks like we've got yet another proof that cameramen never die. How can he stand there so calmly in the middle of all of this? In India, the reasons for traffic jams can be pretty surprising. This massive landslide in Himachal Pradesh has completely blocked the road. This video will remind you why it's best to stay away from trees during a thunderstorm. A powerful storm can uproot a tree as easily as a gardener pulls out a weed. Nature is the most ruthless designer there is. Those with nicely maintained homes often bear the brunt of its fury. In a regular apartment building, the worst damage is usually just a broken window. But here, even a poor garden gnome doesn't get any mercy. A landslide can look pretty harmless from afar. But when you're up close, you'll find yourself running away without a second thought. Belarus has no access to the sea or ocean, but it does have its own version of a tsunami. Luckily, it's not dangerous, it's just an optical illusion. It might look like a massive wall of water, but it's actually just clouds, though they do look eerie. This phenomenon is known as an Arcus cloud. On Mount Washington, the winds can be so strong that you could even lean on them, but it probably wouldn't be a very comfortable experience. Imagine what would happen if you opened a parachute there. Many people dream of living in a quaint French village in the Alps, but a flood can turn those dreams into a nightmare. Check this out. The river has overflowed and swept the village away. Powerful currents have carried off rooftops, cars and trees, and even destroyed the only bridge leading into the place. This wild current can challenge even the most hardcore rafting enthusiasts. Before you know it, you'll find yourself neck deep in water. Nature runs its own show, and if it wants to do some rearrangements, nothing can stop it. Funny how you always end up without an umbrella just when the weather turns awful. In a storm like this, the umbrella would probably just lift you off the ground rather than keep you dry. On a gloomy day like this, the last thing you'd want is to be a car owner without a garage. Using a ferry is more than just an easy way to get your car across the water. They often offer an adventure straight out of a movie.
Oh my god. I'm not okay with this. Why?
Oh! The people in this video did the right thing by staying in the car to keep control of the situation. Otherwise, the elements would have taken over, just like they did with the nearby cars.
Yes. Holy
Is your brake on?
Yes, my brake's on.
After seeing footage like this from Italy, it's clear why ancient people thought natural disasters were the wrath of the gods. It looks incredibly terrifying. In Saudi Arabia, it's common to drive down the road and suddenly feel like you're in a scene from Mad Max. The only thing missing is the lightning. These massive sandstorms make you feel incredibly small compared to their towering presence. If you get caught in a sandstorm like that and open the window for even a second, sand will get absolutely everywhere. What can be as spectacular as a tsunami, but not as dangerous and destructive? The guy who filmed this video captured an approaching wall of rain. It looks like the rain forgot how it's supposed to behave and is now moving horizontally. These chilling scenes show more than just nasty weather. The wind was so fierce it tore the roof off the house like it was nothing but wrapping paper.
Mama, el cuarto.
The footage of this horrifying tornado from China is unsettling. It's chilling to think that air currents can turn metal sheets into a swarm of deadly shards. After seeing this, you'd want to make sure everything's bolted to the floor. A storm that looks like the apocalypse hit Tennessee. On that day, you could only go outside if you were wearing a helmet. Spring seemed to turn back into Christmas for a day, but even Santa would have struggled with the weather. On that day, residents had to deal with hail as big as baseballs and wind gusts with speeds over 150 kilometers per hour. Of course, no car owner wants bad things to happen to their vehicle, so they try to find shelter. For example, the guy who filmed this video decided to wait out the bad weather under a bridge. No one makes adjustments to buildings faster than nature on a rampage. It can even rip off a roof entirely. So little time has passed, but they already have to put a new river on the local map. When they talk about the water cycle in school, you don't really imagine it might look like this somewhere. What you're looking at is a mud flow. It's like a landslide, but with raging water mixed in, making it an unbelievably scary and devastating force. What do you think this natural phenomenon is? Should the guy in the boat be worried? Actually, this hole won't take you to the center of the earth or the bottom of the body of water. It's just an overflow spillway. These are usually found by reservoirs and hydroelectric plants. It works like a toilet tank. If the water level gets too high, the excess spills over. Since the spillway gate can be regulated, it's a great way to pull a prank on someone who doesn't see it coming. Imagine their surprise when they suddenly spot a big hole appearing out of nowhere. Tornadoes are amazingly beautiful and captivating, but it's wise to watch them from a safe distance. After all these natural disasters, you really start thinking about getting a bunker. Nature shows us how to achieve our goals. If water needs to get through somewhere, it'll find a way to carve its own path. It looks like the river's turning into solid cement. Pretty impressive. It's tough to be an owner of a car during a flood, especially if it's lowered. In Minnesota, it rained so hard that they got several months' worth of rain in just a day. Flooding is one of the harshest displays of nature's wrath. It doesn't follow any rules. It can overpower bridges, traveling along roads at any speed. And even invade people's homes. After such disasters, it's understandable if locals feel like moving to Everest. Snowfall's usually a joyful event, but that joy disappears quickly when hundreds of tons of snow come rushing down the slope towards you.
Oh my gosh!
I'm almost to 3 HS.
Cold hands.
Good thing these guys were far away from this unusual natural phenomenon, a double avalanche.
3 miles past the shot.
Everyone loves summer patios for the great views and tasty food. But during a hurricane, they become playgrounds for the storm, just like the rest of the street.
Eccolo, se n'è andato, guarda. Eccolo là. Oh, è caduto l'albero, ci siamo.
Water, while destructive, is not very picky. It can create a stunning waterfall in a lush forest, but it's just as happy making its way down a highway. Even if you wanted to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and live in a house far from everyone, a tornado can still come and make things even more hectic than city life ever did.
Ty vole! Tak to je dobré teda. To je dobré.
po zejściu lawiny. Tam widzimy, jak wszystko się oderwało. Taki mały skrawek, widzicie?
We've got a sandstorm coming in from China. Visibility's practically zero, so drivers should just stop and stay put to be safe. Alaska's wild beauty isn't just about icy stillness. It can also surprise you with sudden, thrilling moments. It might seem normal at first, but nature has a knack for being totally unpredictable.
Але то зараз буде дощара. Хмара така, що такої не бачила. Львівська область, готуємося.
Even the experienced local guide was blown away by the massive snow avalanche. Just imagine how it must have felt for the tourists who were here on vacation. At some points, the falling snow starts to look like clouds drifting down from the mountains. Luckily, these clouds stopped partway down, and no one got injured.
저게 뭐야 도대체? 쟤는? 경복궁 근황! 야 경복궁 근황! 오! 없어졌다! 용오름이다 용오름! 뭐야?
开成这个样子，糟了，完蛋了，要死到这儿了。
Подземный пешеход в Алмате на Есентайне. Бомба, да? Залило все прям. По колено больше. Вот эти матрасы толкать. Ё-моё.
If people don't start sorting and recycling waste properly, nature might begin to handle it on its own. One of the most spectacular events of spring is the ice drift. It's fascinating to see just how massive the ice flows can get and how they move along the river despite the obstacles. Check it out.
Вот смотри, опять О, днище, смотри, здорово. Или она сейчас закрутит, или